What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video I wanted to introduce my new F-150. This is a 2003 F-150 SuperCrew. As you can see, it's the 4-door with the short bed. It's a Lariat with the FX4 package, and I got an awesome deal on this, and unfortunately I had to sell the Ranger for it. But regardless, this is an upgrade for sure. I always thought that this looked very similar to the Ranger, and I finally figured out why. Not only does it have the same color, but if you look at the wheels, and I'll overlay a picture of the Ranger wheels, well, they have the same wheels. These are just 1 inch bigger. So I thought that was kind of funny. Anyway, before we get into the truck and get into all the details, I just wanted to thank AUXITO LED for sponsoring this video and sending me not 1, not 2, but 3 sets of LEDs for this. This will cover the fog lights, this will cover the low beams, and this will cover the high beams. Now, if you know these trucks, you don't need a separate high and low beam headlight bulb, but as you can clearly see, these are not the stock headlights, and to be honest, I like them a lot better than the stock ones. So it has a low beam projector and a high beam reflector, and obviously the corner light is stock. The fog lights are stock, but the headlights are a huge upgrade. So first things first, let's get these LEDs in and go from this to this. That is a lot better, and let me tell you, at night it makes a huge difference. Now, I've been testing these LEDs out and they are super high quality. The LEDs right here are positioned perfectly in comparison with the halogen equivalent. So that's basically what's going to make the light shine very nicely. Otherwise, if they don't match up, the reflector or even the projector won't have the proper ways to reflect the light on the road. Now, as you can see, not all of them have a fan, but they do cool down very well. I've been running these for a couple months now. I've actually had this truck for like 3 months at this point. But anyway, so I wanted to just share with you how well these are made, because I think they are totally worth the money. This one is actually a double LED. As you can see right there, has 2 rows of LED chips. So that's why it has a large fan that's built into it, because it needs that cooling. These, even though they are very bright, they don't need that much cooling, and they just have this large heat sink on here, which does disperse a lot of heat. So don't think that it's not enough. And big thanks to Ford for making these fog lights super easy to replace, or the fog light bulbs I should say. All you have to do is reach in here and unplug the old wiring harness. Take the old halogen bulb out by twisting it. I'd like to say throw it away, but honestly I like to save them and keep a set in the car, at least one of each bulb, so that if you do have a bulb out and you're driving at night, you can at least replace it with something. Then take your nice new LED, slide it in there, and lock it into position. Okay, plug in the connector, and now let's do the high and the low beam. This is actually bringing back some memories, because on the Ranger, when I got it, if you watch that introduction video, I did the same exact thing. I got LEDs from AUXITO, and the headlights are exactly the same. So you pull on these tabs, and once you have these up, I kind of need 2 hands for this, so I have to put the camera down, but you just pull out the whole assembly and you replace your bulb. So as some might say, out with the old and in with the new. Perfect fit. That's locked in right there. All right, well, that's much better. Let's close the hood and take a tour of the whole truck. So as I mentioned, this is a 2003 F-150 crew cab Lariat FX4. It is completely stock, other than the LEDs, which are awesome. So thank you again, AUXITO, for sponsoring this video. It has new headlights. It has a lot of new steering and suspension components up front. As you can see, they're a little dirty because I've been driving it for the past couple months. It has decent tires. These are the tires that came with it. I didn't buy any. The frame might seem like it's a little rusty, but it is actually in really good condition. Just ignore that. That's fine. Just look at the frame for now. But if you pretend that you don't see that, well, it's pretty good. I mean, you can still see that factory paint, and it has 192,000 miles on it almost. So I'd say that's pretty good. Here's some more of the new components here. Now, I did have to do a lot of work on this. I actually did all of that myself. I won't be putting out videos on that. That is already done, taken care of. So like I said, on the outside, there's not a whole lot to it. It's gray. It's got 4 doors and a bed and 4 wheels and headlights and stuff. Anyway, let's go under the hood. Now, under the hood is hiding the 2-valve 5.4 liter Triton V8. It's a great engine. I know they all have their problems, but this one is actually not bad, and I have actually taking this whole engine apart. I did head gaskets and a whole new timing set on it. So timing chain, tensioner, guides, everything. It actually had a broken timing chain guide when I got it. It ran perfectly fine, but I had a broken timing chain guide and bad head gaskets, which actually helped me get such a good deal on it. And I knew I could fix it. I knew it wasn't totaled or anything. There was no damage other than a blown head gasket. I believe it was on the driver's side. One of the cylinders was a little suspicious looking, but regardless, it wasn't driven a lot like that. And same for the timing chain guide. It still had tension. It broke on the non-tension side, so tensioner was still working just fine. So now that we went over that, let's look a little bit at the interior. As you can see, the driver's seat is in kind of not so great condition. And the only thing that doesn't work about it is the heated seat. So it has it, and you press the button and it turns on for like 2 seconds and then it shuts off. And I'm pretty sure that has to do with, you know, this situation. So if one day I find either a replacement seat or a lower cushion with the heated seat, I'll just go ahead and replace it. If not, it doesn't really bother me that much. Obviously, the whole truck needs a good cleaning. I actually did not clean it since I bought it. This is exactly how it came. I gave it a quick vacuum, but that's about it. So the seat's pretty dirty. I guess it doesn't really show that much on camera, but you can see there's dirt built up everywhere. And same with here. These are not, I mean, they're scratches, but it's the dirt that got scratched off. So someone already put an aftermarket head unit in, so that's cool. I don't have to do that. It doesn't have Bluetooth though. So on the cup holder, I had to put my own little lever here because, well, the spring's broken. So, you know, you gotta pull it out manually, but that's okay. Looking at the gauge cluster, you'll see that it has 191,800 and some miles. And it came with this little tuner device thingy, which is pretty cool. I don't really intend on using it for what it's meant for, as for tuning purposes, but I do like the fact that, give it a second, another second. Can you go faster? Is it time now? All right, there we go. So it shows you your average and instant MPG, which is great. Right now I'm averaging about 15, which is actually pretty good for this. So just driving to work and back. Other than that, like I said, there's not a whole lot going on in the interior. The rear is, well, you know, just some seats with some junk on the floor. I have some tow mirrors over there. Oh, stop it. And car seat, which is clearly not installed yet, so we'll take care of that. And came with a tonneau cover, which is awesome. I don't really like it because I'm just not a fan of tonneau covers personally. I like bed caps. I put a bed cap on the Ranger. Here's a picture of that. I thought it looked pretty good, even though it wasn't the same color. So I do want a bed cap for this. But for now, a tonneau cover is way better than nothing. If we open the bed, well, there's my stuff. And you'll notice that someone clearly used this as a work vehicle because it is super beat up. You can't tell a lot on video, but the bottom, the floor of the bed is not quite straight anymore. The sides are all beat up and well, yeah, it has some rust issues that I have to fix on both sides. I cut the rod out. I'm left with that. And the back wall right there is actually bowed out into the cab. So, you know, it was used very well. So it's been put to work for sure. The tailgate's kind of bowed too, you can see that. So we'll just pretend that we didn't see that, and if you just look from the outside, it's great. Something else that made me think that it was used as a work vehicle is the fact that it had a tow hitch with trailer brakes on it, as well as helper springs for the rear leaf springs. And I mean, I took them off because they were useless to me, but you don't really put those on unless you're really towing. So that's basically how I came to that conclusion. And the reason I took the trailer hitch off is because it was completely rotted. It had holes in it, and the hitch was basically rusted to the receiver. There was no saving that thing. And also there was no towing with it because it was just completely rotted away. So I took it off, and I might put one back on in the future, but for now, it's just gonna stay like this. Another cool feature is the number pad on the door handle, which doesn't work, so you know, that's fine. As for runnability, runs super smooth, has no check engine lights. I bought it with 191,062 miles, so I've driven it almost 800 miles since I bought it, and I've had no issues with it. Well, that's because none of the issues that it has have prevented me from driving it, if you know what I mean. So it does have some issues, which I will be addressing on videos on the channel. So if you're interested, stay tuned. One video that I have already filmed, and this was a problem that was actually pretty scary, is the fuse box, the gem module is what it's called on these. It sits underneath there. Well, if you know these cars, they leak from the windshield, and this one had that problem. So I already filmed the video, I already fixed the issue, but I wanted to wait to post it because I wanted to introduce the truck first. But there's not a lot to it. It's just a pickup truck with, you know, a lot of miles. The four-wheel drive currently doesn't work, and I will be addressing that issue and showing you how to diagnose it and fix it on video. I want to run through the whole diagnostic process because there are so many things that can go wrong on this particular vehicle. Ford way over designed it. Now, even though I think it could have been a lot simpler of a design, it is what it is, and well, it needs to be fixed. Overall though, this is a great truck, and I've already went through some love-hate stages with it. First I liked it, then I hated it, now I like it again. Whatever, it is what it is. So I have some videos upcoming for this. I also have a light bar that I want to install over here. I also have some more lighting and accessory videos coming for this, so definitely stay tuned if you are interested. I'm going to show you all the details about how I install everything. So to end the video, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you want to stay tuned for the upcoming ones because there's a lot to do on this truck. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.